microphone. Boom. Okay, y'all. I think we're just about ready to roll. Let me make sure here. Yes, sir. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Barack, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and of course, Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. I hope y'all had an awesome weekend. Last night, one of the coolest experiences that I've had. Had the really good fortune last night to attend the world premiere of Hold the Rope. Hold the Rope is the documentary on Skip Bertman that will air, the SEC Storied, that will air tonight, Monday, on the SEC Network. And last night at L'Auberge, they had a great event. And they had a screening. Basically, we got to watch the movie, the documentary. Skip and the director, Mark, went on stage and did about an hour's worth of Q&A, and then they also showed us excerpts from some of the interviews they did that didn't make it into the final product. So it's an hour long, and it probably could have been 5 hours, 10 hours long. They did 89 interviews in all. Players who played for Skip Bertman in high school at Miami Beach High School. Players from the University of Miami when Skip was an assistant under Ron Frazier. And then, of course, just gobs and gobs and gobs of LSU players and coaches and administrators. And it was wonderfully done. I think people are really going to enjoy watching this documentary. So, really cool. Really cool. And then, of course, how about Phil Nicholson yesterday, y'all? He was the oldest major championship winner ever. From a guy who the knock on him was Phil couldn't win the big one. The best to never win a major. And then he finally got the monkey off his back with that Masters in 2004. And now the oldest major champion ever. Congrats to Phil. What a day that was to watch. Anyway, let's say some good mornings, see what y'all got. If you haven't done so yet, please share the post, like the page, share the post. Let me go share this out on, share out the YouTube link as well. That's my bad. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see, we are live. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Tim Gotro, good morning. Trivia Carter, good morning. Brady Smith, morning, Matt. Scene on 18 at PGA was insane. It's crazy they allowed fans onto the fairway while Phil and Brooks were still walking. Brooks said someone hit his bad knee. Oh, God. I didn't see that. So I was... so I had two events yesterday. One of them was Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, which was a event out at Bin 77 that we told you about. It was benefiting our local military and police. So great organization that provides resources to police officers and financial assistance to families of wounded and fallen officers in military. So a great organization. So had that event at 4. So I went to that. And thank goodness they had TVs everywhere. So we're watching the end of the PGA. And then went from there over to L'Auberge for the Hold the Rope premiere, which was an amazing event. The Bengal Bells helped put it on, and Ronnie Rance had a big part of it. But y'all, I tweeted a video, maybe I'll post it on Facebook as well, but it was, why, I said, why is LSU baseball different? And I kind of did a scan of the room, side to side. And I don't know how many people were there. My best guess, they had, the tables were 10 top, and from the stage to the back of the room, it was 5 deep. And I want to say there might have been 15 or 20 across. I mean, might have had 1,000 people there last night. Like I might be undershooting that. Anyway, but it was incredible night, and I mean, a sort of who's who of LSU baseball. I mean, Ben McDonald and Todd Walker and Terrio and Fontenot and guys from all different eras. Luis Garcia came in from Miami. You had guys who, Pete Bush, guys who played for LSU in the '80s and championship teams in the '90s, and Paul Maneri came with some of the current players as well. So I guess before they leave for Hoover, they got home and then were there. And Skip had the current players stand up. They got a big ovation. It was a great event. I mean, really phenomenal. Like Mike Papajohn was there. Anyway, John Bro, good morning. Brock Pendarvis, good morning. Pat Huseman, hey Dad, good morning. Chad Schaefer, what's up, Chad Schaefer? Good morning. Nick Torina, 6 straight supers. Let's finish the job. Let's go. Nick, got to make my prediction right. Well, it's already wrong because Ed won football. My prediction was always that Beth Torina would be the next LSU coach to win the national championship. And it's time. Congrats to the ladies. Softball Tigers lost game 1, came back, won game 2, advanced to Super Regionals. How about that for 6 straight years? Let's go. You got me fired up this morning, Nick. You got me fired up this morning. Jeff Stipe, do we go Johnny Holstaff tomorrow and save Marceau for Arkansas? I don't think so, Jeff. I was talking to someone at Hold the Rope last night, and it seems like they're going to go. Let me see. Actually, Frank has just sent us the game notes. Hang on. I'll tell you right now. If they've named him. But it sounded last night like they were going to start Marceau. I'll tell you right now. I literally got this at 7:21 a.m. It is 7:51 a.m., so this came 30 minutes ago. Let's see. I just hadn't opened it yet. Pitching matchup. TBA. Interesting. But I don't mind telling you that I had a combo last night with somebody who I'll not mention this person's name, who mentioned to me that likely they were going to go Marceau. Tip of the cap to Todd Walker. Saw Todd last night, and Todd was on AFR last week, and now I don't think the reason that they pulled Marceau early, well, actually I know, was because of Tuesday in the SC tournament. He was not feeling well, but that's what Todd said. On Thursday, he was like, "Hey, look," or Wednesday, I think when he was on the show, he was like, pull Marceau early, have him ready to go for Tuesday in an elimination game. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Stacy Fontenot, good morning. Breezy Bro, what up? Kirk Taylor, Chris Keller. Hopefully Drew has his diaper on right. Oh, God. For those who weren't here yesterday, I don't even know how this happened, but Drew's diaper, somehow, he had a full diaper, and somehow it ended up down the right pant leg of left pant leg of his pajamas, of his onesie pajamas. Like, I have no idea how that happened. Like, it came detached and slid all the way down one side of his leg. It was a mess. Yes, it was a mess. Holy moly, was it a mess. Let's see. Kelly Presley, Clint Nauta, good morning. Can't wait for the Maneri die. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that slander around here, Kirk. Or Clint. Not okay, man. I'll tell you this. I will say this now, and I will say it when Maneri's run at LSU ends, and forever and ever and ever, as long as people want to have this conversation. But dude won a national title, has a runner-up, 5 trips to Omaha, 6 national seeds. Anywhere but here, they're building you a statue and you're the greatest coach in the history of the program. He just happens to be the coach at the program that has the greatest coach in the history of college baseball. That doesn't mean you get to slander his, and I'm not saying that's what you were doing, Clint, altogether. It was a little bit of, I could tell, a little bit of sarcasm there. But that, from LSU fans, is how you end up like, I'll give you an example, like South Carolina. South Carolina won back-to-back national titles in 10 and 11 and got to another championship series, and then Ray Tanner retired to become the athletic director, and they have sucked since. It's nobody's birthright to win. It's hard to win. I mean, I think we are certainly closer to a change than ever. But his record and accomplishments deserve to be celebrated. And I'm going to do it whenever the time comes. And I will spar with anybody who wants to on that. You just gave me an open door, Clint. I'm not necessarily mad at you. But you just gave me the open door. To be abundantly clear, by the way. Kurt, I'm excited for this documentary. This should have like the Jordan documentary. Skip is that type of icon in baseball. This should have like, probably have been like. Yeah, I mean, they could have done 10. They could have done 10 episodes. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know if they've watched 10 episodes, but Courtney Store, Kelly Gross, Rodeo, Phil Fast for 36 hours a week to rest. Guess I'll never win a major. That is crazy. Jeremy Brinkmeyer, but how about Phil? I mean, from kind of the hefty lefty guy to like looking lean and tan and stylish now. Jeremy Brinkmeyer, what up? Summer break starts today and Grizzlies won last night. Congrats on both accounts. Derek Michael, shout out to Beth Tarino and the Lady Tigers locked up super this weekend at Tiger Park. Yes, indeed. We got some of the vowels mixed up, but that's okay. Nick Tureen is watching right now, which is why I pointed out that. But anyway. Just flip the A and the O. Turina. Anyway. But yes, fired up for. Well, how about the crowds yesterday at Tiger Park, too? That was awesome to see. Kerry Hughes. Oh, Chad Ogier, Lyle Mouton there. I did not see Lyle, and it was such a big room, quite honestly, that it's possible they were there and I just didn't see him. And I did ask about Chad because I wanted to say hey to him, and someone told me he was there, but I did not see him. Dylan Landry, good morning. Tim Whitten. Ryan Dixon was Kevin O'Sullivan at Hold the Rope. He was not. I think he's getting his team ready for the SEC championship, SEC tournament. Chuck Sanchez, what's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? John Grunlin. Grunlian or Grunlian? Unless if you don't pronounce the first U and it's Grunlian. What's your view on the midweek games? Don't matter to me. Welcome to 2017, John. I'm assuming you're joking. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Strong Side Sports and Collectibles, good morning. June Sonye, where is Hanny going to work? I saw Hanny last night. I sat at the table right next to him. He's going to work for a company called Matchpoint. And Matchpoint is a name, image, and likeness company that is designed to pair student athletes with businesses for endorsement opportunities. So, yeah, that's what he's doing. This is so this will be his last week on radio full time. Cliff Nelson missed game 3 on Saturday. Who was the starting pitcher? Was it Hilliard? It was Hilliard, and he went 7 innings and was awesome again. He's been fantastic. I've said in many ways he has saved the season. So, I mean, realistically, coinciding with AJ Labus's dip has been Mikhail Hilliard's emergence, and that's been, I mean, it saved the season. You know, but it's not even fair to say having a number 3. It's really having a number 2 because Labus hasn't really, performed. But Stephen Miller, what's up, man? Kerry Hughes, don't lie, that was you on TV celebrating after the Tennessee win against South Carolina this weekend. For those that don't know what Kerry's referring to, there was a video making the rounds on the interwebs. The TV cameras very clearly picked up on audibly picked up on a South Carolina fan celebrating the win over Tennessee in a very whiskey and wine-esque manner. Let's put it to you that way. There was some colorful language being thrown out that was clearly audible on your television or mobile device. Tony Williams, good morning. Clinton Auta, I view Maneri same way as I view Les at the end. Grateful for everything, ready for him to go. I think that's very fair, Clint. I do. I think that is very, very fair. I think this is a year where, coming into this year, you look and you say, okay, championship series in 17, 18 was certainly a disappointment, going out to Corvallis for the regional. 19, you were not a national seed, but you hosted a super regional by virtue of upset, and you lost. We don't know what last year would have been, but I think the big difference last year was, I don't think you necessarily maybe had the pitching, but you had the position players. This year kind of flipped on you, where you had the pitching, I thought you didn't have the position players. But either way, you're going on 4 years, and it's, it very much feels like a make or break type deal this year. So, but I think it's fair. It's a very, very fair assessment. And I'll tell you this as well, that I'll remind you that Scott Woodward is the athletic director, who did not hire Paul Maneri, and also is a shoot for the stars type of athletic director, where we talked about it, right? I mean, got Chris Peterson from Boise to Washington. They got Jimbo from Florida State to Texas A&M. You got Kim Mulkey from Baylor to LSU. He knows how to get things done, and he knows how to do them tactfully. So it's not going to be a situation where Paul Maneri is fired and then they start a search. Suffice to say that if/when a move is made, the heavy lifting will have already been done. Saw Rick Green last night. How about that? Former first-round draft pick. Rick, I think I introduced you to someone last night as first-round draft pick of the Reds. That's wrong. You're first-round draft pick of the Tigers, weren't you? But you made your debut for the Reds, if I'm not mistaken. Did I get that right? Anyway, always great to see Rick Green. Guy recorded the final out for LSU's first national championship. Rick Green, righty, came on, induced a ground ball to Mook at third. Jim Hawthorne on the call. Thank you and good night, Tigers. The champions of college baseball. Drew's backpack's peeping. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Trivia, give him a towel. Okay, y'all. So always shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area, including their primary location inside of the Surgical Specialty Center on Blue Bonnet. And of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Blaine Smith, morning everyone. My wedding anniversary today, 18 years. There you go, Blaine. Happy anniversary. Keep on keeping on. Congrats to you and the missus. Blaine Smith saw the Aggies fire their baseball coach and said to be going after a high-profile coach. Blaine, I'll tell you that has been, Hayes been in the barn there for a while with Rob Childress. He was coaching under the last year of his contract and was pretty much understood he needed a big year this year to save his job. It didn't obviously happen. And the name that I've heard the most is Tim Tadlock. Tim Tadlock is the current coach at Texas Tech, who's brought them to Omaha 3 or 4 times and has had a really good run. I've always been told, because people around here kick the tires, right? And Tadlock was an interesting name that I heard prior. But I think Tadlock wants to stay in the state of Texas and might have been holding out for that A&M job. So if that's the name to keep an eye on for A&M is Tim Tadlock. Tony Williams, the Lady Tigers have a good shot at OKC. Indeed, always do. But just one point of reference. Softball team are not the Lady Tigers. They're actually just the Tigers. LSU uses, this is no big deal, just an FYI. LSU uses Lady Tigers to denote when there are both a men's and women's team. For example, the Lady Tigers basketball team, because there are the men are the Tigers, the ladies are the Lady Tigers. Track and field, you have the Tigers, and then you have the Lady Tigers. So just an FYI, because there's no men's softball team, they're just the Tigers. Like gymnastics is not the Lady Tigers, they're just the Tigers. That's all. Just an FYI. Some people may find that interesting. Maybe not. Chris Williams, morning Scone. Shocked to hear A&M letting Rob Childress go. Had a great run at A&M for 16 years. That's, Chris, not shocking at all, actually. We've talked about that a bunch. I actually talked about that last week. He was, as I mentioned, he was coaching on the last year of his contract, and he did not have an extension. This was the last year of his deal, and he went into this year knowing he was coaching for his job, and they missed the SEC tournament. So I think it's sort of been understood there for a while that he was going to be gone. Cortland Jacob, hopefully the Aggies don't beat LSU to the punch. Hey, Cortland. Let's see. Arkansas might have lost their number 2 starter. Ooh, I didn't see that. And that would be devastating for them because they can hit the crap out of the ball. But as we saw when LSU played them, really their issue is starting pitching. I think I even tweeted after that series, Arkansas is fantastic. They're deep and talented and experienced. But, man, I don't know if they can win a national championship without enough starting pitching. Like, they would have to slug their way to a title. It's going to be interesting to see. Brian Falgout, was a very special event last night. Great story shared by Skip. I wish everyone could see the cutouts that no one will see. Can you share a few with those watching? Sure. So Brian assumed you got to go, which was awesome. I mean, a huge crowd. I'm sure if Brian was there, he could tell you. I think Luis Garcia's were probably the best. He used some colorful language. So, real quick, Luis Garcia is telling a story about how they're going to play somewhere in Florida when he was a freshman in '89, and the freshman had to carry Skip's bags. Hang on, buddy. Okay. So the Luis Garcia story says, this did not make it in the documentary. So it said freshman had to carry Skip's bags on the road trip to his room. So it was Luis and I forget whoever he said were the other two freshmen that year. Hi, buddy. Hi, Drew. You want me to hold you? What do you need help with? Help? What you need help? Okay. You need help? Oh, he's showing. Thank you for coming to get me. What do you want? You want measure? You want measure? You want measure again? Measure. Measure again. You want measure? What do you want? You want measure? Measure. Okay. You may say something to me. Okay. I promise I'm gonna get to the story, y'all. All right, and it's 8:11. Okay. I have time. So, Luis Garcia says as a freshman had to carry Skip his bags to the hotel room when they were on a road trip. They're taking a trip somewhere in Florida. He takes Skip and Sandy's bags, and Skip says, "Oh, Luis, Sandy Bear, bags are in 1143." He's like, "I'm sorry, coach?" Like, Sandy Bear, 1143. He's like, "Your wife?" He's like, "Garcia, this is a bleeping business trip." 1143. So they stayed in separate rooms. And then he's like, "Look down there. How many of the guys you see down at the pool?" Luis, 6, 7? See, they don't care. We went back the next year, and he used some colorful language. And he's like, in 1990, went back, and there was 3 guys in the pool. He said, but when we went back in 1991, there was no bleeping body in the pool. Of course, they won the national championship. By that point, they all got it. It was a business trip. Anyway, that was a great story. Luis told it obviously way better than I did, but that was the gist of it. Stephenville, LSU gets a regional, regardless of what happens tomorrow. However, I do think they beat UGA tomorrow, too. I agree, Stephen. I think they're in. That seems to be the consensus. Kind of chatting with some folks last night, too. You never really know what the committee's going to do, so I feel much better if you go beat Georgia. But, yes, it does seem like they got it sewn up, which is awesome. Blaine, we'd like to get the Tennessee coach, I believe. That's not happening. Vitello's not coming down from Tennessee. I think he's a guy that's going to hold out for the Arkansas job when Dave Van Horn is done. Let's see. Tim Witten, who do you think would potentially be his replacement? Tim, I don't do the who do you think stuff. I do the what I know stuff. My bad, YouTube. Let me get back to you here for a second. Chance Mercante, good morning. Bob Poole, thanks to foot surgery at Brock, by the way. I can't wait till tomorrow, all day BB, I guess all day baseball. Bob, are you going to the SEC tournament? Oh, by the way, go Tigers, indeed. Eric Wilderrotter, if we win tomorrow, would you be more inclined to start Hilliard Wednesday because of his previous win against Arkansas, or less likely because they will already have seen him? I think it's more about rest at that point, Eric. I don't think, well, I know you're not going to throw Hilliard on Saturday and bring him back on Wednesday. You're not going to bring him back on 4 days rest. So, the only reason that you even consider Marceau for Tuesday is because he had such a short outing, certainly by his standards, and he threw on Thursday. So, hey, bud, that would be 4 days rest, but you're also talking about an abbreviated outing for Hilliard, or for Marceau, where that would make that even possible. But I would think if you win Tuesday, you get to Wednesday, which is the double elimination portion. Then I think you go with your, hate to say midweek plan, but because you want to try to get someone to extend for you. But then I think by Thursday, you can kind of set up a rotation with Labus and Hilliard. Labus could be an option for Wednesday as well, considering he only threw an inning and a third. Tim Gotro. My problem with Palminares, he makes coaching decisions I disagree with. To be fair, he has 1,500 more college wins than I have, so he may actually knows more about college baseball than I do. Interesting thought, right, Tim? Do you start Labus against Arkansas? He struggles down the stretch. Coleman looks like a viable option. Javen Coleman could be an option. And look, Mineri is certainly a guy that will tinker, that will take risks, that will play hunches. So, I mean, Coleman has looked really good. Spurge, what's up? Bob Poole can't really travel. I'll be on the patio. All good, man. Well, I hope your recovery goes exceptionally well. And you're back up and at 'em really soon, man. Brady Smith, be amazing if CP3 beats the Lakers and the Pels would keep the first-round pick as a result. I would just like to really see the Lakers lose. Trivia, what do you know, Matt, about PM replacement? I don't know what you're talking about, Trivia. I mean, I know plenty, actually. I know plenty. And I have since before the season started. Which is why I continue to say that Scott Woodward being tactful is important, and why people who try to break news before it needs to be broken, well, never mind. Just relax. Just relax. It's going to work out fine. Brian and Annie Pinton, good morning from Hayburn, Idaho. Congrats to the Jags for winning the SWAC tournament. Congrats to Lefty for winning the PGA. Yes, indeed. Good on Southern, won the SWAC baseball tournament. It was a great day yesterday, wasn't it? Let's see. Ryan Dixon, not fair to compare Palmineri to Les Miles, especially with the shenanigans off the field that will taint Les. Ryan, the difference is very true. But if you're just talking about from an on-field record standpoint, it's similar in that both coaches were there a long time, both had success, support for both waned near the end. I think that comparison is fair. At the time, no one knew of or was talking about Les's shenanigans, as you put it, off the field. So just from an on-field standpoint, I get it. Can you imagine a male softball team at LSU talk about real ball? Chris didn't know Childress didn't receive an extension, was on the chopping block. His players sounded surprised. Players may always be surprised, but Chris, the guy was coaching the final year of a contract. It was basically known all year that this was going to be it. Troy Abear, hope everything worked out with the diaper situation. It did. It was messy, but yes. LSU playing Florida State in Super Regional should be a great series. Can't wait to watch. Mike Martin was a former Florida State coach, was one of those interviewed in the Skip Bertman documentary. Troy Abear, that Hudco hat is fire. Is there a place I could order one? Thank you, Troy. It is no place to order them. I have toyed with that idea of putting up a button on the website where someone could just order one at cost for like $5 or something like that. Because otherwise we have to keep them stocked and then ship them out to people or have events and stuff like that. But anyway, there will be opportunities, Troy. Absolutely, to get your Hudco hats. We need to order more, by the way. I snagged a few on the side because we need to mail some of you your Hudco hats who have been asking for a long time. Tony Williams. Scott Woodward was a fantastic hire. He was. Cortland, I bet if the committee knew Paul was retiring, they would put LSU in easy. That's an interesting thought, Cortland. I don't know that I necessarily believe that. I mean, there is certainly some human element to it, but at the same time, it's still going to be merit based. I mean, look at Childress, for example. I mean, they're not going to sniff it. He's had a great run there. Anyway, ASCII Rock was explosive yesterday. I don't think Matt knows anything. If he did, he would tell us. He knows we'll keep a secret. That's hilarious. You can believe what you want, but suffice to say, am I ever really wrong when I give you hints and stuff about things like that? Just suffice to say, just be patient, and I think a lot of people will be very happy. Let's see. When was the last time neither Florida or LSU was in the top floor and Tennessee was? No idea. And Tennessee has gone through a wasteland really since the 90s, the late 90s. The Todd Helton days feel like a long time ago. Chris Burke. I may have missed the hint. Can you repeat? No, there's no hint, Troy. It's just suffice to say that when that just let it play out. And I think LSU fans will be happy. I'll tell you, the thing that I've said from the very beginning of the season is that it would not surprise me at all if Paul steps away. He's always wanted to coach through his current contract. He's told everyone that candidly off air. His contract runs through 2024. He's always wanted to coach through that. I think a lot has happened in his life in the last 2 years with his father passing, COVID, Tommy Lasorda, who he's very close with, passing, the neck surgeries he's dealt with. I think it's obviously taken its toll on him. That is very, very abundantly clear. And that it would not surprise me at all if he steps away. And that Scott Woodward is very tactful and knows how to go about getting things done and does not make convenient or lazy hires. Anyway, all right, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Locked on LSU coming up today, and AFR at 3 o'clock. Peace. See ya.